So, as I continue to think about how much of a mistake it would be to kind of trust Tucker Carlson, any kind of like left right coalition, I do want to bring up the fact that when he does speak about the issues that black and white people face in this country, because there is a particularly famous, I think, monologue from 2019, right? Where he talks about how the policies of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have both kind of led us into this current situation. Now, just on its premise, I kind of reject that because a lot of the issues comes from the fact that the Democratic Party has always had to compromise with Republicans, right? And I think some of our more aggressive changes in American society, which were beneficial, have always come when one party has a particular majority over what would be considered the conservative party at that time, right? I don't think things really change in America unless we get that. But in this particular monologue, he talks about how people used to look at Detroit and Chicago, right? Both like majority black locations, majority black cities in which they had problems with crime. I'll say homelessness. I would say out of wedlock births, right? If you want to use that term, and poverty. And he mentions very crazily that it used to be a problem that you could ignore. And I think that's a particularly important line to say, right? And that exposes like the ways that he wants to think about the problems, because he says these were problems that America could ignore. And then he talks about how it's not ignorable anymore because now it's affecting rural voters, right? And he says now these two locations are having the same exact problems, right? But it only mattered, right? Because, right, you couldn't ignore it because white people were suffering. And I think for me, right, and people will probably disagree, but for me, I think that exposes the ways that he thinks about American citizens, right? That you could ignore certain problems because different people, different identities, different ethnicities, different religions and cultures are suffering. You can ignore that as long as white people aren't suffering the same thing. And like, this is my problem with him, because any sort of priorities that he has is only going to prioritize white people's issues first, right? When we should know that if everyone is suffering the same issues, it needs to be an across the board type of aggressive campaign to solve these issues. And if you don't do that, all you do is perpetuate the same system, right? And you just move, everyone just moves along, but everyone's in the same status. And then it's just going to happen again, right? And so this is like just my problem with people being so gung-ho and talking about the fact that Tucker Carlson is saying all the right things, right? He's been in media for 30 years. Of course he's going to say the right things. He's trying to build his brand back up, right? He was exposed as a manipulative liar who does not care about racism, sexism, any kind of ism, right? As long as white people are gaining the benefit. And like, that's my main problem with this idea, right? People are trying to give him the reins almost without any kind of showcase or instance in which he cares anything about the issues of other people. Like, he has not shown that. Like, he's actually gone, for me, right? He's gone more to lionize Russia than he has America, right? And that's my main problem, right? This guy does not care, right? As long as he's just going to be an advocate for white people. And as soon as the stain and the smell of Donald Trump's corruption goes away, I can't snap right now, but it'll go right back. And that's what I think about that, right? So if you have a angle on that, if you have a different interpretation of that particular video that I'm talking about from January 2nd, 2019 Fox News, you can let me know, because I think it can be identified in the other way, right? That maybe that is what people need to experience in order to realize the issues that everyone's suffering with. But I will say this, because it was in 2019, there's been 7 years since then. And during that time, the man never stopped talking about the fact that it is white people's issues that are killing the United States of America, instead of saying it's Americans' issues, right? And so, yep, that's what I have right now. So let me know.